It's Fat Art Television. I'm here at the legendary Secrets of Nature with the owner and sole proprietor, Coy. We're gonna ask him a few questions and get a few questions in about black business. How long have you been into business?
I first start by saying hello. I greet you in the name of peace and justice, righteousness, and all the things that go with that. But I started out in business in 1980. After I graduated from law school, I went home to visit my mother and family and my father. And I got there, my mother said, the doctor, she had just come from the doctor, and she told me that the doctor told her to go to Duke University Hospital as fast as she could. So the next morning, my father and I got up and took her up there, and we stayed up there for about all day. And they kept her doing examinations and came out at the end of the day and said they were going to keep her and do some more tests. So we went back up there the following days and weeks, and they found out she had cancer of the breast, of the colon, and of the liver. And so after a while, after they had done all they could do for her, they gave her an ultimatum to take chemotherapy or go home. And she asked me what would I do if it was me, and I said, well, I'd probably pack up and take my stuff and go home and get ready to meet my maker. She took my advice, and after that, I felt an obligation to do more for her, or what I could for her. And that's when I got out and I started learning about life and the body and how it works and how it lives. And everything I learned, applied it, and I applied it with her, activated with her. And she started to get better. And so after about a month or so, they went back to the doctor, and the doctor said, I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it. So after about 6 weeks, they say, well, there's nothing else we can do for you, so they just say, you go ahead and keep doing what you're doing and come back to see us in another 6 months. So after that, she lived 10 years after that, and that was how I got into this business. That's how I learned all the stuff that I learned by working with my mother and applying it with her. And I've been doing this now for about 40 years, so I'm thankful. And it's not been easy. It's not an easy thing to do, and you find that a lot of us, as terms of us, I'm talking about African American blacks, we tend not to go into business because we've been trained or been conditioned to get a job, go to school, get an education, and then go back to work for the master again. And that's what most of us do. I have been a little separated from that idea because I'd rather get paid every day than every 2 weeks. So running a business, you kind of have more control over your finances, over your money, and if you learn how to spend it right and be a little bit frugal and how to save, you can make it. It's going to be hard to get loans. The banks are not going to loan you any money. Your friends are not going to loan you any money. So you're going to have to learn how to make do with what you have. And that being in business is a good thing if you have the patience and a little bit of money to do what you need to do. You could be very, very, very successful, and you find the life would be much more rewarding.
So what are some of the challenges that you face being a black business owner?
Well, the number one is being accepted in your own community primarily. Most of us, we don't like to spend money with each other, and we think if we do, we're doing something for them that nobody, has done for me. So we just don't support each other that way. So you have to have the patience to work with the people and give them the time to kind of learn you and learn what you're doing, and eventually they will accept what you do and they'll support you. But that's the biggest thing. You want your community to support you, your people to support you. And oftentimes that's very difficult. We boycott our own businesses more than we do other businesses, and we have to get out of that and turn that around, because only we can survive through the process of running a business from generation to generation. You don't just want to have a business during your life. You want that business to go on, like GM and Ford and all of those big companies. They go on forever, it seems. And that takes a lot of commitment. It takes a lot of know-how, and it takes people that know what they're doing. And you can't go in and think everything you see on the shelf is yours and to pick it up. You gotta learn how to turn what you got into money, at least initially. over time you might get there, but the business is business. You can't mix it with family, you can't mix it with pleasure, and sometimes you have to lose friends because of it. But if you stay with it and do the best you can in terms of keeping your inventory on the shelf or whatever you do, your services available, and open up on time and be there, all of those things you have to combine to be successful in business. And again, you won't find that you get a lot of support in terms of financial needs. You know, the money that you have is the money that you have. If you don't have it, don't try to do it. And don't try to borrow money to run a business, because you're going to wind up on the short end of the stick, and over time, you're just going to run out of money, and everything else you have will be gone. So you have to work within what you have. Try to get financing if you can, but chances are you won't be able to get it because it's not meant for you to get it, basically. And we are not prepared to get it. And you have to start real young and learn how to use money and how to access capital so that you can get the capital that you need. But it takes time, it takes money. The bank's got to get to know you. We don't have that kind of time. So we have to learn how to support each other and do the best you can in terms of spending that money the best way you know how to spend it to get what you want.
So can you talk a little bit about the governmental resistance that you've encountered?
Well, the main thing, you're not going to get a lot of help from the government. The government is for the people that run everything, and we're not part of that. And even if we are not situated in a place where we can really get on the better side of what government has to offer. Government contracting is an excellent way to go if you can do that, but it takes time, and people got to know you, and you got to be very stable to get into government contracting. But government contracting is another way to exclude you from the process, because they know you're not ready and you can't really provide the services for a country. That's what you're doing, or even a town or a city. So you're not big enough to really go to government contracting, and if you do, it's going to take. Usually, you have to go under someone else that's already in government contracting, and oftentimes the government is not in your favor. It's going to always be something that they want you to give them, and they're going to give you very little back. But other than that, if you can get into the government, if you can do things with the government, and you can participate in the decision-making process that they go on in the government, that's another whole line. You can't run a business and go participate in all the things that government provide or offer, and still run a business. One of them is going to wind up short. But if you can find someone, or maybe what they call partner with someone that has the time to go to these meetings and learn where the money is and how to access it, you can do a lot better than trying to do it all yourself. In fact, you can't do it all yourself, so you have to learn how to team up with people and come out with a product that you can use to further your business in a way that you can control and manage. But other than that, I would probably stay away from the government as much as you can, because they get into business, that's where you are in the government business, and that's not a good place to be oftentimes, because they know everything about you, and all the money that you make and everything that you do, the government's going to want to do something, and if you get too big, they want to chop you down by raising taxes and moving you out of your business and moving you somewhere else. And you just have to stay where you have the patience and a little bit of stubbornness, I guess, to go through the process of getting to the place that you want to be in your business. It takes time, it takes patience, and it takes a little bit of wherewithal.
So I'm looking for 3 keys to success and longevity in business.
Well, I guess the main thing is don't worry about what you don't have. You can't worry about what you don't have and try to do things. Take what you have, do the best you can with it. Don't waste your money uselessly. Always spend your money in a way that's purposeful and that can return something back to you eventually. And always try to surround yourself with good people that can help you and not take from you or support you. If you can do that, you can pretty much survive any business situation. And it's not so much about having the money; it's about more so having a team to work with and the things that you need to do to promote and grow your business. So I would say have your patience, have your determination, and have some persistence, and just be a little stubborn, and just know what you got to do, and make sure you do it, and stay on the right side of the law, and you'll be fine.
And I want to thank you for the interview. And we're talking. This is the Legendary Secrets of Nature, and we got Corey in here. Thank you, man.
Coming up.
All right.
Yeah.